I literally thought, like, with my hand, I literally thought I was going to be in Spider-Man. Black Spider-Man. I look like a superhero. Like, I know some people are like shocked. How is Isaiah not in the movie? And I said, in some way, shape, or form. Like, I want you to know, I thought, and it's like, Isaiah, there's politics to it. Hold on one second. Just give me a chance. I literally thought that I was going to be in Spider-Man. Like, I literally thought that I was going to be Black Spider-Man. Like, talking about, like, just in general. And I did calculate that my predestined partner is going to be a mirror of me or going to do the same thing as me. It'll be like an exact mirror. I'm a Libra. I was born in September. I'm 20-something, right? My dad's extremely wealthy, and I'm on the street specifically so you guys can see how wealthy he is. He's a you have to say first because he'll protect them. People are like, oh, my dad is a U.S. Vietnam War veteran, which means he's a hero. You know, he's a hero. Like, you know, like he's an elder. Respect your elders, right? But he is, you know, contributing, helping the elder people at the end of his life. He's basically like, you know, using the meek world. And I know my dad's like, well, you know, Isaiah, I'm sorry, but you know, we were on TV, you're on TV, and you know, you rise higher being meeker, but I've already done everything already. They know I'm set in stone, but I want you to say it one more time. I literally thought that I was going to be in, not Spider-Man, the one with Tom Holland. I'm saying I thought I was going to be Black Spider-Man. I really thought when you hear about, I calculated that Scarlett Johansson, if I was in that avenue, which could still happen, I thought that my wife was going to be like setup-wise a Scarlett Johansson. Now, why would it be Scarlett Johansson? Just biology. Simple biology. You know, I mean, not saying you're attractive, but I'm saying it's different. Like, you guys have money. You say money makes you handsomer. You say status. You say family, networking. But like, there comes a certain point. I want to say it one more time on video so you can hear my opinion. I wrote about it. I want you to hear. I want everyone just hear me say this. That's like a part of this, right? When I'm watching like these movies as a young child, you are inspiring. Even with the Time Warp Trio, I'm seeing everything. I'm trying to discern everything. Like, my eyes. Like, you know, what are you talking about? Everyone's getting angry at these stuff. So I'm getting introduced to all of these ideas. One is Time Warp Trio. I'm like, whoa, okay, Einstein. You know, whoa, wait a second. You know, but then you start seeing like these movies, right? You know, like you see Will Smith, yada yada. But most importantly, you see the timeline of Marvel, and it comes into fruition where it's like you literally see, you know, all these people on Disney Channel, you know, whatever, right? And then they go into like, you know, the thing, and I'm discerning and stuff. But I'm watching Iron Man 2, and I'm watching the movie, and, you know, this woman named Scarlett Johansson comes into the screen. Now, mind me, I'm a child. I am a freaking child. But again, they pushed Star Wars in my face at a young age. So I was programmed, and I even asked my mom, and I wish we would have talked about this more in class. Why aren't they culturally bashing that? Why aren't they culturally, like, why is that not a problem? Like, no one ever talked like he's a child, and that doesn't make any sense to me. So that's kind of like what like, you know, this person may meet me one day, and, you know, may meet me one day, and you have to confront just the words that I'm speaking. You have to confront your emotions, you know, both ways. I'm talking about both ways. You have to confront your emotions. And so it was in the back of my mind that I could meet this person. She had a very good first impression with me. And I'll be honest with you, I'm going to leave it silent. I'm going to keep that part silent. A very good first impression with me. And it made me really nervous, you know what I mean? That's kind of like, not saying an intimidating, but this was not I don't think I've met someone like her before. And I think I've seen two. I think Tinashe, or Tanisha, and the girl from the store. I think those two people, if you're in Naples, I think those two people are the first women that I've actually come to meet, like, for real. Like, they're not like facading it or coming out the way. They're really women, like, at the core. Like, doesn't matter if they switched, they're still respected by women. So it's like, I think she's one of the first, like, hard-working woman that I think it just was intimidating, and like, oh, explain it. She's in a blockbuster movie as a female, and, you know, as a person, that's a strong person, regardless of what you think. It's just in your face, you know. And so you get pushed into that, and then you leave and you go into high school. I think it was right after. It was like when I was in 7th grade, the movie came out, and then I go to high school, and I'm like, I'm good at sports, you know what I mean? That's probably what it was. I'm like winning, like, you know, awards, good at soccer and stuff. I might be playing soccer, you know, like for real, like big time, like, you know, and then I guess my dad switched me. But long story short, I come to the realization where, you know, they're saying I'm going to the NFL or going pro in something. If it's weightlifting, professional Olympic, something, right? And when you go pro, you have the opportunity to be around those types of people for real. So not saying that I've been blackballed or not blackballed. I already told everyone, you can hold me accountable, but I do want to let you guys know that I am respecting fate and the flow of time. So when you guys meet me, or if you guys meet, it'll make perfect sense. And I'm sure like my haters are your haters. I'm sure the misunderstanding is the same thing you guys are realizing. But I do want to make it very clear that it's a biological thing that happened to me when I was watching that movie. And that's kind of why I'm a little bit nervous. You know what I mean? Like I never really told anybody my emotions. A lot of maybe people that are older actors can say this whole thing was good with the football until he realized that, you know, anybody can touch you. Anybody can feel some type of way about you. And they never gave me a lesson. They say, oh, depression. You know, you have to confront your emotions, you know, whatever they are. And I know someone finally told me that when I went up to see Maya Comet. You have to confront your emotions with some of these females. You can't just sit here and ignore them. And what he means by this is like you need to like almost like look at a box to say, what do you really want in your life? And tell them no at the very beginning, you know, or pin it to them. But as long as you're sure, I really thought that I was going to be in a movie. Now, what does this really mean according to math? I might just like tilt your perspective. It could be a recession issue. I'm just going to say it's like this. It's the timing of when it's going to happen that doesn't make a difference, but it still can happen. So what does this mean? It means that I'm not saying you can be older and you could look younger, reality, but it's something like that where it really doesn't make a difference to time. You're going to be a part of that community, if that makes sense. So I'm not saying it's, oh, you do a score or something or you make a song, but I want to be very specific. I know it's kind of creepy, but I do play piano. You know what I mean? I do play piano. Not saying it's a friendship or anything, but it's you do play. I play piano, so you know what I mean. And I'm really gifted. I'm just gonna just be like cocky for a second. I'm extremely talented. Like you know, I know some people like we're learning from Isaiah. You know, in terms of like, you know, his ability to make tunes. How is he doing that? I don't freaking know. You know, it's like you know what I mean. But Black Spider-Man, you know what I mean. Like I really been training for that. You know what I mean? Like from 2021. And I saw the whole thing where, you know, I'm looking back at Tobey Maguire and he had a transformation. I mean, when you can do a real transformation very quickly, I was trying to hopefully show that reality where it's like, you could do a real transformation with him. You know what I mean? Like I saw that was pretty cool. You know what I mean? You could do a real transformation and it's not all 100% computerized. So the way I look at it, like there's certain things I could do, you know, that because I'm an athlete and stuff, that I feel like, you know, if you could implement those in the real screen, let me just do it. Let me not even like rely on other people. So not saying I'm getting in, but I'm saying why this is happening, it's because of time. So hopefully that explains it. Peace out. According to math, it's a mirror. You could even say notability equal notability, but I want to be very specific. It could be a class issue, like, well, that's a very successful person, and you know, some of the people around you aren't as successful as you, Isaiah, or like you have a really big like idea, you have a really big, you know, like a profit margin, you know, from you working hard in general, whatever you're projecting, or your family or whatever, and you're not going to find a lot of people that are, you know, projecting that much that fast because they want to do other things. But what's that one girl's name? Scarlett Johansson, because Black Spider-Man is the mirror to that is a Black Widow. You know what I mean? So if I do end it up and I calculate this, I'm being open with it on video or on recording. If it is like a mirror reality where it's like law of attraction, which means polar opposites attract, if I was in the conversation of like, you know, he could be a Black Spider-Man, you know, eventually. Not saying they owe me anything, but saying like, yo, Black Spider-Man, you know, for the movie or whatever. I mean, you have the reality where it's like, you know, the Black Widow character comes in play. I know, like, Isaiah already said this. I'm just saying, like, I really thought, not only that I thought, one more time, not only that I thought I was going to be Black Spider-Man, I thought that I was going to be in Avatar 2. I tried my hardest, but it is what it is, you know, and I think, again, I'm in the reality where it doesn't matter when things happen. It just, for some odd reason, the reality is going to play out to where it didn't matter if it happened 10 years or not, you're a part of that community. In some way, shape, or form. I don't know how or what or when, but you're a part of that. Peace out. Hopefully that makes sense, but watch this spread. This is the genius code. It's going to realign everything. It's the law of attraction.